While Dominique comes forward, the next speaker is Stephanie Yusuf.
Dominique McGee. I want to first thank you all for having this meeting tonight. It's really important to all the parents in St. Tammany Parish. June 5th, 2013, exactly 383 days ago, was the first time that I stood before this board and addressed to each of you my concerns about Common Core. That meeting was the very beginning of my journey battling this nightmare that has invaded our schools. At that meeting, I learned that we were treading on water, churning out a Common Core aligned curriculum for our teachers, and it was stated that it was maybe a week to 2 weeks being given to them. All because the Department of Education decided to move up the mandated implementation date by a full year. Last year, you were doing your best. This year, I want to know, what have the curriculum specialists been writing? This Eureka math, it's exactly what is on the Engage New York website. There are so many teachers in St. Tammany Parish who were told by the central office, as well as parents in St. Tammany Parish who were told by the central office, that we were using our guaranteed curriculum. That's not true. I want to know who at the central office told schools to remove the copyrighted trademarks on the bottom of all these worksheets. That's illegal. I want to know why we're using this curriculum. It's terrible. It's wrecking havoc all across the state and all the parishes that are using it. The kids are frustrated, the teachers are frustrated, the parents are frustrated, and I am desperately asking this board to please address this math curriculum. It needs to be removed. It's not beneficial. Mr. Superintendent Falls, last week or 2 weeks ago at the school board meeting, you told us that your hands were tied and that we should go to Baton Rouge. And like Ms. Klein said, I did go to Baton Rouge quite a bit. Actually, I spoke with you in the halls of the Capitol a few times. Let me tell you what I learned when we went to Baton Rouge. I learned that we were battling money and politics. When we have our curriculum specialist up here touting the ACT and College Board as the wonderful people who recommend Common Core standards, clearly they haven't done enough research on these groups and organizations and who's funding them and why they're touting Common Core. They stand to make billions of dollars off of this implementation, off the backs of all of our kids in this country. You cannot put credibility into organizations like that when their motives are corrupt. I learned in Baton Rouge that the House and Senate education committees have been bought and paid for by big business lobbying machines like Stand on Children. Our Bessie board is the exact same. The pathetic gang of 8, several with unbelievable conflicts of interest, and campaigns funded by the very elitist who stand to make billions of dollars off of this initiative, are the ones who continue to uphold this charade, hoping that the citizens of Louisiana won't wake up to the unholy alliances that have been made at the expense of our children. I'm asking the board to please remove this curriculum from St. Tammany Parish. We can do much better. Our taxes are high. I moved to this parish to put my kids in this public school, and I will be darned if I allow them to be exposed to this garbage any longer.
Stephanie Yusuf.
Hi, my name is Eureka. I'm a mother of 3, and I presently have 2 children in the St. Tammany Parish public school system. Unfortunately, tomorrow will be their last day in the public school system. I had to sit down my 1st grader and 2nd grader today and tell them that tomorrow they have to tell their friends goodbye. They are no longer going to be victims of this awful curriculum. My husband and I feel we have no other choice but to pull them out and homeschool them before more damage can occur. My 2nd grader has regressed so much in only the 1st month of school, he struggles to complete single-digit addition problems, a skill he mastered in 1st grade. He cannot complete simple subtraction problems without the use of a number line. Many of the directions in Engage New York Math and word problems themselves read above a 2nd grade level to the point that not only can he not sound them out, but he cannot comprehend and follow them. Many problems are worded and arranged in such a way that it seems to be deliberately confusing. and the curriculum jumps around so much that it's hard to follow what they will work on next. Nothing flows or builds on another item, rather it operates more like an iPod on shuffle. All I'd like is an answer as to why. Why are we using such a flawed and damaging curriculum? Quite obviously, it is not for the benefit of any child, nevertheless, my children. Because not only are they not learning the fundamentals they will need to build upon later, they are failing and not grasping whatever this curriculum is supposed to be teaching them. We, as parents, will undo the damage that this year has done to my children, giving our children the tools they need for future growth and success because our school system has failed them miserably. It is time for everyone to stop using our innocent children as pawns in this twisted game of politics and power and start making changes to our curriculum instead of continuously passing the blame. Teachers and principals blame the administration. Administration blames the state, and there is no doubt in my mind the state will turn around and blame the local school boards and districts. 2 weeks ago, Ms. Heinz voted nay for this special meeting. She was the only school board member that voted nay. She is my representative. She stated to me that we need to give Mr. Folse and Ms. Araby time to do their jobs. Well, I've been waiting. I've been waiting since the 4th day of school. I've actually been waiting since last year when all this was introduced. But on the 4th day of school, I contacted Ms. Araby and Ms. Heinz, along with my teacher, principals, and expressed my concern with what came home that day. Because it was the first day that the developmentally appropriate math worksheets came home. Guess what? I'm still waiting for a change in this curriculum, and time's up. I'm not waiting any longer.
Sarah Wood, Mandeville. I have one child left at Mandeville High. He's a junior. Would have pulled him too, but I have 2 middle schoolers and a 4-year-old that will not see the school system until you all do something differently. I want to first say that last night, this is my 12th meeting in 3 weeks on Common Core. Last night when I got home, I had an envelope anonymously come in the mail. And what it's asked me, a very, typed, not signed, it was mailed to me. It says, enclosed you will find 2 examples of what appear to be similar material. One is from a workbook that the students are currently using in 4th grade in St. Tammany. Each grade has its own workbook. The other is a Eureka math product. Only a few pages of each are enclosed. You will quickly notice that they are the same. How did it come to be that logos and references to Eureka Math, Common Core, were removed? Who made the decision and why? Was there an intentional decision to deceive the public? Why would the school board allow the public to be deceived? So I looked at it. Here is St. Tammany's logo. This is the St. Tammany edition. Here is the Eureka Math edition. And then I went on Engage New York, and here's Engage New York. Word for word, the exact thing. Exactly the same. I told you all when I came a year ago that there is something inherently wrong with standards, that this is the manifestation. They manifest themselves into this garbage. It has been over a year now since my anger and frustration of the material to which my children were being exposed caused me to step up to this podium and raise a ruckus over this destructive scheme to fundamentally transform America through the vulnerable minds of our children. The problem with doing that in America is that it is hard to convince Americans that a fundamental transformation in education is something that is necessary. Why? Because we inherently believe in our freedom. Because that is our foundation, and any fundamental transformation takes us away from that. So what do you do if you want America to buy into that fundamental transformation? You come up with a long-term plan to fundamentally transform American education by breaking it enough and in such a way that it will convince and move the American people to take a blind leap to nowhere. And that is where American education is going. Nowhere positive. That is what these federal or state collectivist education schemes like No Child Left Behind and now Common Core, which is No Child Left Behind on steroids, just moving a little bit further, that's what they're meant to do. They're meant to break our education system, to shift control upward away from individual and local control, which is our closest form of representative government. And we have clear evidence of that right here. I beg for another minute. And we have clear evidence of that right here in St. Tammany with the curriculum being used. Our school board, you all are being turned into bureaucratic administrators of the state's directives for curriculum. And the professional discretion, that